I want today to be the day you break the cycle in your life in these failed marriages that's brought you to court for the 5th time. I want you to choose to break that cycle today.
Here is today's case.
I'm in the hotel room, sleep. I open the door. Where he at? Where he at? He trying to look under the bed.
So he barged in searching for somebody else?
Yes, Shawnee.
She took forever to answer the door.
Was there anyone in particular you were looking for, or you just looking in general?
Nah, I was just browsing.
Just browsing the hotel room?
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, as you know, for the first time on divorce court, we have a virtual audience, and it's filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Brian from Japan.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to divorce court. We're happy to have you here all the way from Japan.
Your Honor, today's case is Hawks versus Montgomery.
Thank you, Juan. Tracey Hawks.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Mr. Barrington Montgomery.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are suing for $2,742.49, half the amount of an urgent care bill and half the rent for the past 3 months.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't you take me back to the beginning of the relationship? How did the two of you meet?
I was in New York at a bar, and I was looking around and I seen him. I'm like, oh, he's pretty tall. And I'm like, okay. I was hoping he would say something to me, and he did. And he offered me a drink, and then it just went from there.
Okay, what do you have to say about when you met her, sir?
She was looking nice enough, so I decided to buy her a drink. We started talking and hit it off from there.
Now, I understand it was good for a while, but
Yep.
then you started having some problems.
Your Honor, he doesn't like my job whatsoever. I'm a mixologist. He thinks I'm going around just flirting, and Your Honor, I am not doing that. I make my customers happy, so it's like when I'm laughing, smiling, oh, it's a problem, accusations.
How long have you been in this line of work?
I've been in this line of work for like 5 years.
So before the two of you started dating, this is what you did for a living?
Yes.
What is your
Yes,
issue
Honor.
with her job?
She does a lot of flirting, Your Honor, for one.
Isn't that what
It's-
bartenders and mixologists do, though?
Yes,
It's a part of the
Your
job
Honor.
To a
description
certain
in a
degree,
way?
though, Your Honor, you can talk to your customer, you can smile at your customer, but you don't have to bump them, you don't have to touch them. I feel like she does all these slick, flirty things on the side.
And you've
And
witnessed this for yourself?
I have, yes, ma'am.
And you said these things are beyond the pale of what she's supposed to be doing at
Yes,
work as a
ma'am.
mixologist.
Absolutely.
What do you have to say about that?
It's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to make people feel comfortable. He has a job where he's promoting, so it's like we're in the same ball field. I think because of my shape, maybe, and just smiling.
Your Honor, when I first met her, her bartending uniform was decent, covered up. Now I feel like since we've been here, she wants to feel like she has to be a part of this Atlanta culture. So she dresses completely different.
I don't
Booty
know.
out, chest out, short skirts. She wasn't like that before.
Your Honor, this is Atlanta. I'm going by what my dress code is for my job. He's never satisfied with whatever I have on.
But you said you've also experienced that with when it's time for the two of you to go out?
Oh, yes. He invited me to go with him to his sister's birthday dinner, and I had this nice dress. To me, I thought it was nice. It was a little see-through, but I have the undergarments, the bra, and the underwear to cover myself.
You had on a see-through dress for
Yes.
his sister's birthday party. Going to his mama's house?
But Your Honor, I mean, I thought it was nice, but I didn't
I'm
even
sure
make
it was
out.
nice, but I'm just saying, this is not work now. This is going to his family.
Yes. I didn't even make it out the door. He was like, you better take this off. We're not going anywhere. And he threw a turtleneck at me and told me to put that on.
I didn't throw it, Your Honor, I tossed it. It's a
Well,
difference.
did you change?
I did, Your Honor.
And what happened at the party the two of you were trying to go to, a work party?
Same situation again. I had another dress on, but it wasn't see-through. But it had some cleavage out. I mean, I have a big chest.
Everything she wears, Your Honor, has to be revealing to her.
But he's out going to the clubs, got his shirt wide open.
So you dress the way you dress, whether you're going to the work or not.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your attire's not always work-related.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then you said he started popping up at your job.
Yes,
And
Your-
even popped up on you when you were working in New York. Tell me about that.
All right, so I had a big event, and I had to be a bartender, and I called Barrington to let him know, I'm going to be out of town for a week. Could you come? He was like, no, I got to work. I'm like, okay. Time goes on. I'm in the hotel room, and I done fell asleep. I'm like, is it the police? Like, what's going on? So I get up out the bed. I open the door. Where he at? Where he at? He trying to look under the bed.
So he barged in searching for somebody else?
Yes, Shauna. He went in the shower room.
She took forever to answer the door.
So when she answers the door, you say, who's in here?
No, when she answers the door, Your Honor, she's shocked to see me. But her facial expression was, oh, I'm not happy to see you. So it's like, well, I'm surprised. Hello, I'm here, you know, surprise. And it's more so like, you're not supposed to be here.
Your Honor.
So when you walked in, you started looking under the bed. Was there anyone in particular you were looking for, or you just looking in general?
No, I was just browsing.
Just browsing the hotel room?
But, Your Honor, I just had to make sure. You know, it's like, what is taking you so long to come open the door? Like, it's like 11 o'clock at night.
So you really don't trust your girlfriend that much to where you would fly up to New York, don't tell her you're coming, knock on the door at 11 o'clock at night, wake her up out of a sound sleep, barge in and start looking under the bed?
I took the trip to New York to surprise her. And the welcome that I got, I was expecting to receive, I didn't receive. So it was just kind of more so like, what's really going on here?
Again, we go from the see-through dress to the turtleneck to you knocking on the door, going from her not having the reaction you want to who's in this room. You go from 0 to 100.
I mean, I didn't really have a choice.
And
well, you have a choice, sir. I think you're popping up at her job because you want to see what she's doing when you're not around.
The reason why I went to the bar was because of a text message I seen in her phone. Hey, Tay, I can't wait to see them yams. Your Honor, it's not Thanksgiving, it's not Christmas, so what yams is he referring to?
Was your intention going to New York, popping up on her at the hotel room to try to catch her in something?
I was trying to actually spend time with her since we haven't had time to do anything. So I figured a surprise would kind of, you know, ease the tension a little bit.
Your Honor, I was at work and there were some customers. They was having a good old time. I'm having a good time with them. They got their drinks. He's like, come on with more drinks. I'm like, yes. And here he comes. What are you laughing at? What's so funny? Startled me, embarrassed me. Then gonna say—
You didn't know he was at your job?
No, he popped up.
Your Honor,
You were trying to surprise her that time too?
I didn't just pop up. She forgot that she told me to come. So I tried to make it, and I did make it.
He think I'm doing more than mixing drinks, which I'm not. So I went on and decided to quit my job.
Your Honor, she works in a bad—
First, I don't think she forgot that she told you to come by. Two, I think you're popping up at her job because you want to see what she's doing when you're not around. You know, you said in your statement you like conservative women. Mr. Montgomery, maybe that's who you should date.
It's not that I like conservative women. I mean, even though she was conservative when I met her.
She said she wasn't.
But she was.
What do you say, ma'am? Have you changed?
I don't think I've changed. I mean—
What type of work would you like her to do?
She can still do bartending, just to certain events that she can do. Not to mention, Your Honor, that the reason why I went to the bar that night was because of a text message I seen in her phone.
Okay.
And the text message seen was, hey, Tay, I'm glad the bar is opening up. I can't wait to see them yams. Your Honor, it's not Thanksgiving, it's not Christmas. So what yams is he referring to?
And he sends you this photo?
Your Honor, first off, why is he going through my phone? See, I'm
for the same reason he popped up in your hotel room in New York.
And then second of all, you can tell I'm caught off guard.
She's caught off guard.
So you're saying you didn't pose for the photo?
No, Your Honor,
So what was her
I did
response
not.
to this message?
She didn't have one. I asked her how did that number get in her phone. She couldn't tell me anything. So how did he get your number?
Who is this person?
He's a customer.
You give me your phone number out at work?
For faithful customers, yes.
Okay, and what's the reason for you doing that?
Because they want to know when I'm there, so they don't want nobody else serving them drinks. They like me, so.
Well, you know what he referred to when he said yams?
I mean, I'm a turkey baby. Like,
What
I
else
was thinking about, yams, because.
She's serving something else, Your
What do you
Honor.
think she's serving?
It's more than the yams. She's probably serving the whole meal, probably.
I don't think she is. I think that you're a promoter?
Yes, ma'am.
So you know how this works. This is not uncommon, actually.
But I don't have to give my number out.
You give your number out all the time as a promoter. You text people, and you let them know what club you're going to be at, what night you're going to be there, Of course they have your phone number. That's what you do. This is a part of nightlife industry.
But that's a single text message, Your Honor. I have to send mine in group texts.
I just asked you if you gave your phone number out. You said no. Now you're saying it's only in group messages. This is all a part of the game. You got to chalk this text message up to the game. Why do you think women dress the way they do when they tend bar? Because that's a part of the fun of their evening. Going to see cute girls dressed at bars in a certain way. You know this, right? You just don't want your girlfriend to be a part of that industry. You don't think she's actually cheating on you with any of these men, do you?
But the thing is, Your Honor, she was bartending before. She wasn't dressing like this. This all didn't change until we got here to Atlanta.
She has a new job in a new city where she doesn't know anyone, and she has made a choice. This is what she wants to do for work. She quit her job once. She's saying she's not going to quit it again. I'm just saying to you, this might not be the young lady you want to continue to date because you want her to change and be something that she doesn't want to be.
I understand, Your Honor. That's one of the reasons why I left. I felt like she wants to be in the culture, so I decided to part ways.
He's like, oh, baby, I got a surprise. He's like, look, babe, I got a snake. A snake? I am terrified of snakes.
What ends up happening with the snake?
We had got into an argument, and he gonna dance around with the snake, and the snake done bit me on my arm.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free, 1-877-311-2222, or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Miss the show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. You say you were bit by a snake.
Yes, we don't have kids, so I'm like, well, let's get a puppy. I get a phone call. He's like, oh, baby, I got a surprise. I'm like, okay, wait till you get home. Oh, God, it was the worst surprise ever. Your Honor, I come in the house and sit down. He's like, look, babe, I got a snake. A snake? We never discussed anything about a snake. I am terrified of snakes.
What happened to the puppy?
I didn't want to pay the extra rent fee.
So you thought a snake was a happy medium?
I mean, I'm from the country, so I'm used to snakes.
So am I, but she's not.
I mean, when I told her about it early on, she was just, okay, I hear you. I don't think she really took me serious.
So we went from a
did.
puppy to a snake.
Yes.
You've been watching too many episodes of Tiger King.
I knew getting a puppy was gonna really be too much, especially with her not being home, always trying to work. So she's not gonna feed it, she's not gonna walk it, she's not gonna pay the money for the vet bill, she's not gonna do any of that.
And so
At least I know with me, with the snake that I decided to get that's non-venomous now, that I will be able to just take care of.
So the alternative to all of that, a low-maintenance snake, was the way for you.
Your Honor,
and what ends up happening with the snake?
Your Honor, we had got into an argument, and he gonna dance around with the snake, and the snake just hissed. The snake done bit me on my arm.
First off, Your Honor, my snake doesn't even hiss. Second of all, Your Honor, that's not the real reason how it started.
Your Honor, snakes hiss.
The reason why it bit her because she was moving too fast and she got too close to the head of the snake. That's why the snake bit her.
This is exactly why the option was to go for a puppy. What happened after she got bit by the snake?
Your Honor, went to urgent care.
And I told her she didn't even have to go to urgent care.
Excuse me.
Are you a doctor too?
Well, I've dealt with snakes before, so yes, I know.
So you mean to tell me if someone gets bit by a snake in your home, your advice to them is you don't have to go to urgent care?
Well,
you can take
particularly my snake, yes, I know because he's non-venomous, so you don't have to go to a vet for that.
We went to urgent care, and he was like, oh, yeah, I'll help you pay the bill, I promise.
I didn't say that, Your Honor.
You're suing because you want him to pay for half of it.
Like $492.
Because you believe it's his fault that the snake bit you?
Yes, Your Honor, because we never had a discussion about getting a pet snake.
By the way, when you got to urgent care, did they give you any medicine?
Yes, I had to get 2 stitches.
Exactly, not that deep.
It don't matter. I don't know nothing about no snakes, Your Honor.
It was 2 stitches she did not want to have.
Not to mention, Your Honor, it was a baby snake at the time.
Sir, has a snake ever bitten you?
Yes, once.
The same snake?
Yes.
Should have got the puppy. That's 2 snake bites too many. I understand that you moved out 3 months ago.
I did.
Because the two of you are simply not getting along.
Right.
And I can understand why. You don't see eye to eye on a number of things in the relationship. And you have every right to have a type, as you say, someone who's more conservative, Mr. Montgomery. Ms. Hawks, she has every right to work at the job that she wants to work at and dress the way she wants to dress at the job. So when you have 2 people who are not able to meet in the middle between the see-through dress and a turtleneck, you might have to go your separate ways. You work in nightlife, but you don't want to date someone who's a part of the industry, because I think you know what goes on. Now, you moved out 3 months ago. You're now suing because you want him to pay for rent. Were the two of you on a lease together?
I was on the lease, but he agreed that he's gonna pay half of the rent, and he didn't do it.
Did you agree to pay for half of the rent during the time that you lived there?
As long as we were together.
As long as you were in a relationship?
Yes.
So you had a discussion with her and you said, as long as we are dating, I will pay half of the rent as long as we're living here together.
Yes.
Why didn't you put both your names on the lease?
I had the more stable income, so I felt like I should have been the one on the lease.
Were you paying the majority of the monthly bills?
Majority of the time, yes.
No, she wasn't.
While he had his shirt out,
No, she
I'm
wasn't.
thinking he gonna get some money. He don't bring nothing back to the table.
What do you mean have his shirt out?
He be at the clubs, just
I
hanging
also-
out with his
I
shirt
also-
open.
Not Mr. Montgomery.
The difference between me and her, Your Honor, is I also model, so
Look, that doesn't make any sense. Why do you gotta have your shirt
Now,
open
Mr.
like
Montgomery,
that?
all this time, you were
Right.
telling me you wanted a conservative woman. You practically walked in here with the Bible in your hand today. What is the
broke.
difference, sir, in Miss Hawks wearing her shirt for her job with some cleavage out, and you putting this all out for the public to see on Instagram
Well,
for your job?
The difference is, Your Honor, I get paid to model, Your Honor. She
Your
just,
Honor, I don't
paid
see
for
no
her job
money.
as
I don't
well.
see
but
no
her thing
money.
with her tips, Your Honor, she can work a bartending job wearing more clothes somewhere else.
And Mr. Montgomery, you can button up that button all the way to the top like you have today, sir. Everybody has choices in their options. We're not gonna have the double standard, Mr. Montgomery. Here's what we're gonna do on the rent. He's not on the lease.
No,
And that's
Your Honor.
unfortunate for you because legally, I can't force him to pay for half of the rent when he's not on the lease. When you sue for 3 months of back rent, you're suing for breach of contract. He didn't breach the lease agreement by leaving before the end of the lease because he's not a part of the lease. So then I look at the second issue of, was there agreement between the two of you that he would pay a full year of rent even if he moved out? You're asking me to order him to pay for 3 more months of additional rent after he's moved out. Under the law, he's not obligated to. I also, unfortunately for you, can't force him to pay half of the urgent care bill. It's unfortunate that you were bit by the snake. I think it was a poor decision for the two of you to go from a puppy to a snake. But I'm gonna explain the law to you on that. I sat in small claims court for 4 years and I listened to a lot of cases with pets and especially dogs biting other people. And people think all the time, if a dog bites someone, you're automatically responsible. It's not true. It was an accident. And I don't think from everything you told me today, he didn't do anything on purpose to cause the snake to bite you. And just because the snake bit you, that doesn't mean that he's responsible in terms of paying for half of the urgent care bill. When people are in relationships, they come into court and they want me to enforce contracts between them when by law, they're simply not enforceable because you don't actually do the work that it takes if you want to hold somebody legally responsible. Why? Because he's your boyfriend at the time. That's what happens when you mix business with pleasure. So my judgment in this case is no money recovery, but I wish both of you good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm very pleased with the verdict of the judge. I feel like if I'm not living in the establishment and I've been gone, I feel like I shouldn't have to pay for that or the vet bill.
The part where we need to split ways, I definitely agree. That was the only thing that I agreed for. He's too weird for me. I'm not feeling him whatsoever.
Listening to what the judge had to say, I think it's best that we do go our separate ways. And I guess I am a weirdo, but I guess I would have me a weirdo and a roof over my head.